Previously, what happened in True Beauty Part 1. Joo Kyung is constantly discriminated against by her family and bullied by her peers due to her ugly looks. But one day, she decides to make a change and starts learning how to use makeup by watching online makeup tutorial videos and masters the art. Her makeover proves to be effective as she quickly rises to fame and her peers call her a goddess. On the other hand, Suho and Seojun share a traumatic past as the death of their best friend Seyeon turned them from best friends to foes. Eventually, Joo Kyung and Suho fall in love with each other, but it turns out that Seojun also likes her. Joo Kyung and Suho finally confess their feelings for each other and share a lovely moment. But Joo Kyung is struggling to comprehend the fact that they are together and doesn't know how to react, so she rushes back to the camp. She calls out to Soojin but suddenly realizes that she is not wearing makeup, and now she knows the truth. Soojin is understanding though and decides to hide her secret. When they get back to school, the couple decides not to tell anyone about their relationship because Joo Kyung doesn't want to get in trouble with the bullies who are vying for Suho's affection. However, Seojun learns that they are dating and he gets jealous. The next day, Soojin also finds out about their relationship. She is obviously not happy with this because she likes Suho, whereas Joo Kyung starts to find a part-time job so that she can enroll in a makeup course. When Seojun learns about this, he decides to help her. In fact, they end up having a photo shoot together for a company, and he even helps her get a job at a cafe. Joo Kyung gathers up her courage and decides to tell Soojin about her relationship with Suho. But before she can say anything, Soojin admits that she has liked Suho since they were young. Joo Kyung is taken aback by this though and feels bad for dating him. The next day, things take a turn for the worse when Seojun and Joo Kyung's pictures blow up all over the school. Suho is obviously upset, and he confronts Joo Kyung about this. She tells him that Seojun is just her friend. Suho isn't satisfied with her answer and mentions that a male and a female can't be friends. But she immediately bites back and mentions Soojin. Things get tense between them and they head back. Later, a story takes a twist when it is revealed that the company in which Hee Kyung works has plagiarized Seyeon's song. Hee Kyung accuses director Oh of plagiarism, but he scoffs at the notion and walks away. The next day, Seyeon's song gets released, which shocks Suho, and he runs to his dad's office. Seojun does the same thing. Furious, Hee Kyung heads in to confront the director, but she finds Suho's father, Joo Hyun, there as well, and it turns out that in the past, director Oh released an article about Seyeon being a bully at school just to cover up an incriminating photo of Joo Hyun with a young actress. Suho shows up at the office and hears everything. As he walks away, he runs into Seojun, and together, they get hit by a car. The boys are rushed to the hospital, and we are shown some flashbacks in which it is revealed that Suho, Seojun, and Seyeon used to be best friends and practice music together all the time. When the scandal about Seyeon being a bully broke out, Suho was nowhere to be found. In fact, he even ignored Seyeon's calls. Unfortunately, Seyeon went online and saw some pretty nasty comments about him. This seems to have been a catalyst that caused him to commit suicide. Later that evening, Suho rushed to the scene and found that his friend was already dead. Back in the present, Joo Kyung goes to see Soojin. She breaks her silence as she admits that she is dating Suho and apologizes because she doesn't want to lose Soojin as a friend. She seems to forgive her, pretending not to know about it. But it is pretty obvious that she still hasn't given up on Suho yet. Later, Joo Kyung gets informed about the incident, so she rushes to the hospital to see Suho. Thankfully, the couple get to resolve their issues and decide not to argue again. On the other hand, Joo Hyun confronts director Oh about the scandal related to Seyeon, and it turns out that Joo Hyun was unaware of the scandal, and it was director Oh who spread the false news about Seyeon to cover up Joo Hyun's photo and made all the mess without consulting him. And now he has even plagiarized Seyeon's song. The next day, Joo Hyun goes to visit Suho, but they end up having a big argument and Suho gets a panic attack. Later, Seojun finds out the truth and apologizes to Suho for blaming him all this time for Seyeon's death. Back at the school, a transfer student, Hai Min, arrives, and she is none other than Joo Kyung's old friend from her previous school. Unfortunately, the bullies from before catch her up and ask her to spy on Joo Kyung. Later, news on the TV breaks about Joo Hyun's retirement and that he has admitted to plagiarism, which shocks everyone. The boys are discharged from the hospital. When Suho heads back to his home, he goes straight into his music room and finds a letter by Seyeon in the corner of the piano. In the letter, he thanked the boys for brightening up his life and talked about how being with them was the best moment of his life. Later, Suho and Seojun visit his grave and apologize to each other. But they get chased by some thugs. At last, they manage to escape and ride back to town. The next day, Joo Kyung arrives at the school and is shocked to see Hai Min. Her existence makes Joo Kyung nervous as she fears that her painful past might come back. Soo-jin plays dirty and gets Joo Kyung's old pictures without makeup from her bullies just because she wants to win over Suho. Shigun tells Suho that she likes him and asks him to break up with Joo Kyung and like her instead. Obviously, Suho rejects the clingy girl and leaves her to stew. A few moments later, Suho and Joo Kyung find out that Junwoo and Hee Kyung are dating, and after an awkward dinner, they head back home. Whereas Joo Kyung's bullies find out where Joo Kyung lives, so they head straight there to cause trouble. However, they are stopped by Seo-jun and they show him Joo Kyung's old picture, and gets absolutely shocked, but he smashes the girl's phone and warns her not to cause any trouble. The next day at school, Soo-jin puts her plan into action and distributes Joo Kyung's old pictures without makeup. Joo Kyung is devastated to learn that her traumatic past has returned, so she rushes out of the school. Later, Seo-jun finds out that Soo-jin is the one who spread Joo Kyung's pictures, so he marches back to school and confronts her. Joo Kyung eventually heads home and refuses to speak to Suho, who waits by her door. Meanwhile, Suho learns the truth about his father and how he was shielding him from what happened to Se-yin. As he walks away, he receives a message from his dad, telling him that he is leaving Korea soon. The next day, Junwoo gets to know about the whole situation and makes the students realize about Joo Kyung's pain and how she's suffering, leading the class to descend into guilty silence. After that, Seo-jun finds the person who uploaded the video and gets it deleted. On the back of this, Joo Kyung's mother visits the school and finds out how badly her daughter was bullied. After knowing the truth, the whole family decides to be supportive and try to rebuild Joo Kyung's shattered confidence. Later that evening, Suho meets Joo Kyung at the comic store and tries his best to make her feel better. Later, he discovers that his father is leaving for the US. He asks Suho to join him, but he refuses. Instead, he asks him to bring something delicious when he gets back. It seems like the father-son relationship might heal after all. After a few days, Joo Kyung feels confident in herself and shows up at the school without makeup. Surprisingly, her friends welcome her with open arms, and she feels a lot better. Shiga tells everyone that she is dating Suho. He appears at the scene and gives her a warm hug. Later, Joo Kyung gathers up her courage and goes after Se-mei and the other girls who are bullying Haimin. She gangs up with Suha and Haimin to beat down the bullies, whereas Suho and Seo-jun have started to get along better with each other. Suho even encourages Seo-jun to start signing again. Later, Soo-jin gets to taste her own medicine as the news about her being a psychopath spreads all around the school. She runs out of the school, but Joo Kyung reaches out to her in order to win her back. However, Soo-jin walks away and ends up crying in the corner. We then cut forward in time as Joo Kyung passes her cosmetology exam. The couple head out on a date, but their romantic mood quickly changes when Seo-jun informs them that Suho's dad is in the hospital in the US. Suho immediately runs to the airport to get to the US to see his father, leaving Joo Kyung behind, and he asks Seo-jun to take care of her. Time passes, and Suho stays in America to make sure that his father is okay. He tells Joo Kyung that he'll be back soon, but his father's condition gets critical again, so he delays his plan. This makes Joo Kyung sad, and she even gets sick because of stressing out about her upcoming exam and ends up in the hospital. Suho is devastated to learn this and decides that they should break up because he doesn't know how long his father is going to be sick, and he doesn't want to make her wait. Joo Kyung tells him that she'll be okay with waiting, but he feels bad about it, and the couple ends up breaking up. We then cut forward 2 years in time, and now Joo Kyung and all of her friends have finished school and moved on in their lives. Joo Kyung is trying to become a makeup artist, while Seo-jun is ready to make his debut as an idol. Later, the two head out for dinner, and Seo-jun finally admits that he likes her and asks her for 3 dates to win her over. But Joo Kyung still has feelings for Suho and doesn't know what to do. So she heads to the Namsan Tower, and guess what? She runs straight into Suho. He tries to talk to her, but she runs away. Suho feels upset for breaking up with her, so he decides to win her back and tries everything to get her attention. Later, Joo Kyung and Seo-jun head out on a date, but she keeps thinking of Suho. As they get back, Suho appears there and sees both of them together. Seo-jun decides to give up on his love since Joo Kyung still loves Suho. He even tricks her by claiming that Suho is returning to the US. This makes her run to Suho's apartment, and she begs him not to leave her again. But it turns out that he was just unpacking. This cute trick of Seo-jun's helps the two patch up, and they get back together. Soo-jin also meets Joo Kyung, and she apologizes to her for what happened in school. The two clear up things and patch up their differences. On the other hand, Hee Kyung and Junwoo get married despite the mishaps that happened during the ceremony. Whereas Seo-jun makes a successful debut by singing the song written by Se-yeon and becomes an idol. At the end, Suho and Joo Kyung head back to the comic store to spend quality time together. The show ends with them sharing a lovely kiss. And with that, our recap comes to an end. We hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.